So I guess that means it's all over now.
Yeah. Gossip Girl's dead.
Gossip Girl ended by answering the mystery that had been very loosely hanging over the soapy teen drama's entire run.
You're not going to believe who Gossip Girl is. Gossip Girl is real?
Fans expressed everything from baffled amusement to indignant outrage upon learning that the omniscient gossip blogger aiming to take down young Upper East Side elites was in fact Dan Humphrey, the outsider lonely boy from Brooklyn who had befriended and romanced his way into the upper echelons of New York teen society.
You need to explain everything from the beginning, the very beginning.
Evidently, Dan created the nasty blog which frequently attacked the woman of his dreams, Serena Vanderwoodson, as a way to show his love for her.
You're no one until you're talked about.
In addition to causing many problematic plot holes, the abrupt reveal reframed Dan, the intellectual, moral, and at times judgmental member of his friend group, as kind of a sociopath.
Okay, so this is your payback. Do you feel better about riding the subway to school, since you made a fool of me and everyone?
Still, the decision to make Dan Gossip Girl did drive home the show's central messages, like that your internet troll might be the person closest to you, and that deep down, everybody wants to be an insider.
There will always be someone on the outside wanting to get in.
Here's our take on the ending of Gossip Girl and this surprisingly enduring teen drama's ongoing legacy.
You know you love me. XOXO.
You're watching
The Take.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to share and subscribe.
This video is brought to you by Skillshare, an online learning community where millions of people come together to take classes that fuel their creative journey. If you are one of the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description below, you'll get 2 free months of Skillshare Premium. So join today and start exploring your creativity. The reveal of Dan as Gossip Girl bewildered fans and critics alike by essentially rewriting everything we'd seen up to that point. This revelation meant that the brainy, wise heartthrob of the group has made libel victims out of his family, the woman he says he loves, and even himself.
Dan, I cannot believe you are the one responsible for all of this poison. The damage you've done to your friends, to your family, to your own sister.
Starting in season 1, the Gossip Girl blog added to Jenny's unpopularity with nasty rumors about her sex life.
Asher Hornsby overheard bragging that Little Jay swiped her V-card at his register.
So why exactly would Jenny's own brother be slut-shaming her to ruin her social life?
Is this true?
Although the finale later tried to explain away other Gossip Girl-related blows to Jenny as a benevolent plot to help her get out of New York.
She wanted to get out of New York, but she didn't feel like she had the strength to leave it around, so she knew if Blair found out the truth, she wouldn't have a choice.
This still took the form of yet again publicizing her sex life.
Turns out Little Jay didn't lose her V-card to Damien Dalgard. She waited and chucked it away with her stepbrother.
Then there are the many, many stories dragging his lady love Serena through the mud.
It seems everyone's favorite party girl fell off the wagon and landed in rehab.
Despite his claims that this is all inspired by love for her, Dan's constant public shaming damages this woman's emotional well-being, stability, and reputation.
If anyone should be mad, it should be me.
He also directly sabotages the romantic relationship he supposedly was always after, like when he accuses himself of cheating on Serena.
It was quite detailed about you and Miss Carr and your forbidden love.
What? No, that's absurd.
Well, I'm not the one you need to convince.
Or when he intensifies the awkwardness of his dad getting together with Serena's mom by putting their quasi-incestual ties on blast.
Seems D and S share a sibling.
And let's not forget the time he leaked Blair's diary pages to damage his relationship with her.
Guess we just answered who's in Blair's heart.
Or the times he blows up his relationship with Vanessa by again branding himself a cheater.
As for Vanessa, I mean, maybe if I told her the truth, that photo wouldn't have hit her so hard.
That bad, huh? What'd she say?
Nothing, since she's not currently returning my calls.
Co-creator and showrunner Stephanie Savage has insisted that Dan was always the choice for who's behind Gossip Girl. But more recently, the show's producer Josh Safran has confirmed that both Serena's brother Eric and cool kid Nate were early candidates. According to Safran, after the media caught on that Eric was probably Gossip Girl,
these rumors are getting to be ridiculous.
Oh, like the one where I'm Gossip Girl.
The show's creative team decided that given the direction they were already taking Dan,
a writer's best tool is the ability to draw out a subject secret and use it.
Lonely Boy made more sense as the blogger.
All I had to compare to this world was what I'd read in books. But that gave me the idea.
Gossip Girl tonally tended to walk the line between soapy and tongue-in-cheek.
Nothing says January like a brand new Cold War.
So it's fitting that the final reveal is a little bit of both too. It's not supposed to make total sense. Thus, we don't really need to worry about the fact that Dan has a text conversation blackmailing himself to bring Blair to a party, or somehow writes up a post while still standing in Blair's wedding.
Watch this.
Of course I love you, Chuck. I've always loved you.
Savage said Gossip Girl's identity wasn't something that we wanted viewers to be actively thinking about during the course of the show. Still, if they did know for a long time that Dan was Gossip Girl, it's odd that the creators didn't feel this would have been relevant information to share with the actor who played Dan, Penn Badgley. Savage told TV Line it was nothing that we wanted to be part of Penn Badgley's performance as Dan. But not only does this lead to numerous scenes where Dan reacts with genuine shock and horror to a Gossip Girl post he's reading all by himself, it also drastically changes the fundamental nature of who Badgley's character is. So what does this last-minute bombshell tell us about Dan Humphrey?
I wrote my first post about me. Lonely Boy. The outsider, the underdog.
Are you really turning this into an upstairs-downstairs thing?
All hilarious plot holes aside, with the canon of Dan as Gossip Girl comes the realization that he's been the villain of the entire series.
Why do you all think that this is funny? Gossip Girl ruined our lives.
If we accept this reveal at face value, it's interesting to revisit the series and try to make sense of Dan's emotional arc.
You gave it to Nate?
What could be driving him to be this much darker character than he appeared to be all along?
The whole reason you sent us to a school like this is so we can go to a college of our choice. What if that's all for nothing?
The narrative Dan puts forward is that he started the blog because he wanted to be close to Serena.
Every writer needs his muse.
After he was accidentally invited to a party she was at.
That's when I saw you.
Yet, once he finally does get to be with Serena, he evidently has the impulse to brag about his conquest, like when he tells everyone he might have got her pregnant.
Dan, you're gonna be really sorry you did that.
Other posts, like when he spreads rumors that she has an STD.
Rumor has it, our favorite blonde could be spreading more than just good cheer.
Suggest toxic jealousy and possessiveness directed toward his dream girl. So it appears that on some level, Serena is a prize he wants to win, and her special importance to him is symbolic of a deeper desire to be on the inside.
But I didn't care if I wasn't supposed to be there. Once I got inside, I wasn't leaving.
Over time, his obsession with belonging to her world seems to take precedence over actually being with Serena herself.
Membership in this community was so elite, you couldn't even buy your way in. It was a birthright I didn't have, and my greatest achievements would never earn me.
Meanwhile, he also resents Serena for the way her extreme privilege has insulated her in ways that his merely upper middle class level of wealth has not.
Okay, if you ever wanted something so badly, but you just know you're not gonna get it. No, that's right. I forgot who I'm talking to. Of course you haven't.
There's a streak of bitterness running through his Gossip Girl posts, which can be explained by his repeatedly watching his friends enjoy unfair privileges that he doesn't get.
But you still believe that there's a double standard, that people like me get special treatment.
Ms. Vanderwoodson, Mother sent me to pick you up.
Like when Serena avoids serious punishment for throwing a pool party on school grounds.
Sorry I can get the charges completely dropped, but, at least I got you a minimal sentence.
The new Vanderwoodson Bass Library should be completed for Eric's graduation.
Or when Nate beats out Dan for the Dartmouth Ivy League usher position without trying at all.
Which makes total sense because I'm second in our class and you're somewhere around, last? How many libraries has your dad had to endow to get you this spot?
Over the course of the series, Dan is repeatedly disappointed that Serena's ultimate allegiance is to her world over him.
It has always been your world, and you've never let me forget it. I've always been a visitor. The poor kid from Brooklyn who you've never seen as an equal to you.
And at times, he appears to lose respect for her entirely.
I don't know who you are anymore.
Eventually, jaded and tired of feeling like he's still not enough for Serena and still not fully accepted by the group, he publishes scathing exposés he's secretly been writing about them, no longer hiding behind the blog.
You couldn't say these things about me if you loved me.
He stoops to what he perceives to be the Upper East Siders' level, thinking that being as mean as them will finally make them accept him.
No matter how much we love Lily and Serena, they're always going to choose guys like Bart Bass.
So maybe the trick is to become Bart Bass.
Along the way, in addition to venting his frustrations, the Gossip Girl blog has also been a tool for him to figure out what kind of writer he wants to be.
So I go back out there, I make him trust me and find out a secret.
Be ruthless and bring me back a story with teeth.
There are even times when we can spot him bringing in his more highbrow literary sensibilities in the Gossip Girl voiceover.
Spotted. A family reunion only Faulkner would approve of.
Just mention how his prose style is influenced by early Faulkner.
But ultimately, it's by transforming into a ruthless, exploitative, sensationalist gossip writer that Dan eventually does come to belong in Serena's world.
If I wasn't born into this world, maybe I could write myself into it.
Through his pursuit of literary and social success at all costs, this frequent critic of his friend's superficiality evolves into the most hungry, image-obsessed of all.
Blair, I think you're just mad because Dan was the one who was pulling the strings all along.
This whole time, I had more power than you.
And in the end, he's rewarded with the acceptance he always craved. He just had to entirely change who he was and bury his idealistic former self in order to get it.
You were supposed to be different.
I used to be. Got me nowhere. So now I'm the same.
Arguably, the final reveal even villainizes the outsider, essentially for being one, sending the message that not belonging was Dan's original sin, requiring him to undertake the ugly business of pushing his way into a society that doesn't want him.
Chuck is one of us, whereas Dan, despite his years of trying, never will be.
This shrewd observer-turned-conformist decided to base his entire life and identity on the fundamental principle underlying Serena's world, that you're no one unless you're talked about.
I might have been a joke, but at least people were talking about me.
The other major message of the finale is that however many bad things these rich kids have done and however many traumas they put each other through, everything will always work out for them.
You and I come from different worlds. In my world, if I'm suspended or expelled, a wing is donated in the Bass name.
That sounds like quite a world.
What makes Gossip Girl an even guiltier pleasure than previous soapy teen dramas about rich kids is its lack of real consequences for its characters' behavior. In Beverly Hills 90210, Donna's chances of graduating are threatened when she drinks at prom. In the OC, Marissa dies in a car crash. But in Gossip Girl, no one dies, at least no one you're supposed to care about, and no one is held accountable for objectively terrible behavior. Chuck Bass, the show's original villain turned central love interest, gets redemption and his dream girl Blair Waldorf, even though he once sold her to his uncle for a hotel business.
I told Chuck I'd take either you or the hotel. He chose to give me you.
And sleeps with her enemy.
You didn't.
Blair.
You did.
It's even okay if you run a nasty years-long gossip blog about your best friends, as long as you explain why you did it.
Dan was as hard on himself as he was any of us, and he wouldn't have had anything to post if everyone hadn't been sending in tips.
All of Gossip Girl's snark about its characters' bad behavior gave way to a conventional romantic pairing off that delivered audience wish fulfillment wrapped with a bow.
They made me realize I don't want to run away. You guys are my family, and I belong here. And so does Dan.
In the retrospective special the CW ran right before the finale aired, showrunner Stephanie Savage likened watching Gossip Girl to reading a glossy magazine. It's a fun glimpse into the glittering world of the moneyed elite.
We always wanted the show to be able to function like a magazine. So if you wanted to find out what are the trends, what's a place that I should go, you could just watch Gossip Girl.
And what viewers loved the most about Gossip Girl was the over-the-top glamour it showcased. The show premiered the same year as Keeping Up with the Kardashians, in the midst of the reality and semi-scripted TV boom of the 2000s, when audiences were becoming ever more captivated by privileged glimpses into the so-called real lives of the rich and famous.
It's always a fashion show, Mom.
Gossip Girl offered the 18 to 34 demographic a rose-tinted, aspirational Sex in the City-style Manhattan, only it's populated with horny teenagers instead of horny 30-somethings. It was the perfect intersection of teen soap, golden age of television character development, and reality TV escapism.
Here's my advice. Have a little faith, and if that doesn't work, a lot of mimosas.
It was also one of the first teen dramas to use the internet in the central premise of the show, something Pretty Little Liars would later mimic through its plot centered around blackmailing texts. And Gossip Girl was the jumping-off point for numerous series to come, focusing on the sensational lives and supposed problems of rich people, including Turkish, Thai, Mexican, and Indonesian versions of Gossip Girl, the Bravo reality show NYC Prep,
Money is power, that's what it is.
And a 2021 HBO Max reboot of the show. After a slew of more realistic, heavy, or dark teen shows, Gossip Girl's good old-fashioned pulpy escapism may continue to appeal. It remains to be seen how the show's sensational fantasy of the wealthy elite will fit with today's more critical social discourse.
Blake Lively's doing a thing. Is that the white girl? Oh, I guess they're all white. There's so many of them. It's good to see them doing their thing.
But if there's one thing the show's enduring influence proves, it's that we will always want a glimpse into the scandalous lives of Manhattan's elite.
XOXO, Gossip Girl.
If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get notified about all our new videos. This video is brought to you by Skillshare, an online learning community that offers affordable classes designed to fit your schedule and skill level. Skillshare is a great antidote to anxiety and boredom. Their classes on coding, graphic design, and much more will immerse you in a new creative world. One Skillshare original you can check out right now is Emma Gannon's class on how to unlock your creative potential. In this new class, Emma shares how she learned how to get out of her own way to become a best-selling author, speaker, and host of the #1 careers podcast in the UK. Right now, Skillshare is offering our viewers 2 months access to all their classes for free. But that's only if you're one of the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description below. So join today and jumpstart your creative journey.